Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Today I'll be reading a multi-character thriller by me. So let's get into it. Scaramouche. Scaramouche was like a kid when it came to emotional stuff. He was not very developed when it came to that part, mostly because he concealed his own emotions and he only let himself be vulnerable when it came to you. So of course, he was having some difficulties. And that was prominent early on in their relationship. You could see it. And right now was one of those times when it was bothering both of you. The way that it was impacting your relationship very badly. The two of you had had a fight. It was petty and ugly. And right now, he had stormed off. And for the first few hours, you had tried every possible way to talk to him, but he avoided you, and every single time, you were helpless, and he didn't know what to attempt anymore. He kept himself locked up in his room, and when he got out of it, he wouldn't even spare a glance at you, going out for work and leaving you all alone. And when you had tried seeing him at work, he busied himself with everything else, and he did not even allow you into his own room. You felt like you were at a standstill, not being able to see him. In truth, Scaramouche's emotions were too fragile, and he was so terrified of you hurting her further that he concealed himself away. But eventually, once he's built up the courage, he'll come out and seek you again. But will you still be there for him? Albedo. Albedo was usually very mature, and he had no difficulty when it came to communicating his own emotions correctly and in an efficient way. But everybody goes through these times, and Albedo's own solution to it was to avoid the problem until things calmed down. It was sensible, but also not in the degree he was practicing it. The two of you fought over something important at his work. You had different opinions, and that was fine. But apparently, things got too heated for him, and you couldn't get the fight going. So he told you you needed a break. And the break, he didn't even try to tell you anything to reassure you. If your relationship would even be a thing anymore, he just left all of a sudden. And you were left wondering with your own thoughts. What was going to become of you and your future as a couple? Or if there was no future for you two at all. Kazuha. Kazuha was a gentle soul, often kind and understanding, and trying his very best to help others. That was why he did not expect that argument to happen. It wasn't his fault, and not yours, or perhaps it was even both of your faults, but certainly it did not depend on one. The fight had to do with him joining the resistance. He didn't think they were capable, and realistically, they weren't. He just wanted to warn your partner, so he wouldn't hurt himself. But he took it the wrong way, thinking that you were insulting him and his friends, and he didn't care about Inazuma and all those people who were getting their visions confiscated by the Electro Archon and all that cruelty going on. So the two of you argued. He ended up joining, leaving you, and the only thing he did for you was tell you where to hide, so you didn't have to worry about being caught up in the fight. That was all you got from him. He didn't know what happened to him, and he didn't know if he was alright or not. And meanwhile, he was okay. The fight had ended, but he didn't come to say a word to you. He wasn't ready to confront you yet, even though he had won. But he was still upset from what you had said, and the different opinions he had, because this was such an important topic for him. And he thought he needed a break to actually decide what he was going to do. The only negative thing about it was that he left you lost for a long time, refusing to go to you, or even tell you that he was going to take a break until he was done with his own thoughts. Venti. Venti would never give you silent treatment. That's what you said, anyway. But even the Archon of Freedom had lines that you couldn't cross, and you had tried to cross one of them. He ended up giving you a sad smile, telling you that you had a different opinion than that. And when he tried to talk to him again, he left. He seriously just left, without a trace. And Venti, being that careful person he was, he weren't able to find him for the rest of the week. Once he came back, he apologized, telling you that he was sorry and he was overwhelmed at the time. He said he did not expect forgiveness and that he was ready to try and make it up to you in any way he can. The two of you are going to take another shot at that, this time, with both your efforts combined, and none of you disappearing from one another again. Xiao. Xiao was fine with people having other opinions that were different to his. Even you, his partner. But this time, it was too much. You didn't know enough about the Yakshas and their history, but he said something that was mean about one of them. It was an accident. He didn't even mean to. But it was all a misunderstanding, and you couldn't clarify in time. He ended up giving you a look of disgust and betrayal, because those people were like his siblings. They were heroes to him. People who died to protect. People who fulfilled their contract to the very end. And when he said that, he felt something in him break. He refused to look at you, leaving and disappearing in a moment. He had tried your very best to seek him out, and only after a month did you find him in Wang Shuin. Even then, he refused to apologize, and your pride was worth more to you than getting your relationship back together. It seemed as none of you made the move to get things back up.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.